it's Nicole, and you're tuned in to Jigga Set Radio.
What you see now on the internet? No, I was listening to Jigga Set. Oh, I be listening to every show, keeping me all in the know on Jigga Set Radio. What you see now on the internet? No, I was listening to Jigga Set. Oh, I be listening to every show, keeping me all in the know on Jigga Set Radio.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Jigga Set Radio. I'm here with a very special person. Every person's special, but this is very special to me because this is my first family member I've had on the show. So introducing, welcome to the stage, Miss Nicole. Make some noise, y'all. Thank you for being on the show. So what makes it so special is the fact that you're in town and you actually weren't supposed to be on the podcast, but we made the best of the situation because, you know, we had some reschedules that happened for her on the show. And so we just, you know, we like to move and we just go with the flow. So welcome to the show. She was so nervous, y'all. She is nervous. I don't know why. It's like you just having we just talking.
It's not my thing.
I know. We just talking. You know, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Ain't gonna be no okey dokes. Ain't nobody coming out the doorway like, I thought that was you at my husband's house. And it ain't gonna be
definitely ain't coming through the door on that.
I'm just saying, like, you know, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like, literally, it's just us having a conversation. Yeah. So, but yes, welcome to the show. Can you just walk us through who you are, what you do, who you are, and where you're from?
Yeah, well, I am from Chicago originally. I currently live in Atlanta. And I'm just a person, right? I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I am a friend, a sister, a daughter, right? I like to say that I'm really regular. I am!
Well, you are not regular. You are somebody.
I am somebody, yes. But I'm a regular somebody.
No, girl, you are special. Everybody is unique. They have their own signature, their own light, their own frequency in which they vibrate. And so you are more than just someone regular. So I don't want you to think that for 2 seconds.
Can we pause for just a second? You want to go ahead and put it on silent?
Yes, I do.
You need to answer that? It's Kiki. Oh, get on the phone with her. Bring her in there.
Cousin. What a time for you to be calling.
We are live on the podcast. We are doing a podcast right now, cousin, and you are... Yes, you would have been on it if you was here. Yes.
Okay, I'll call you guys later then when you're done.
Yes, just give us a little time. She gonna call you back.
All right, love you guys.
Bye.
All right, bye.
On JSR, first live phone call. I'm here for this. See, you contributed.
Okay. First and the first.
First everything. So yes,
she drops the
mic drop.
All right, so you mentioned being a mom, being a wife. Like, let's talk about the family building process. Like, let's talk about your family.
Man.
So, like, where do I want to start? No, actually, let's before we get into that, let's talk about your childhood, your upbringing, and then we'll go from there.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I think I had a great childhood, a great upbringing. I was raised by my mom and my stepdad, who came into my life when I was about 2 years old. So he's always been my dad, right? Great guy. I hated him for literally 16 years of my life, right? Gave him such a hard time just because he was my stepdad.
Okay.
But when I turned 18, I realized he was my best friend. And, you know, where would I be without him? You know what I mean?
So in those type of situations when the biological father is not present, how different is someone like a stepfather or another guardian? Can they fill that role of a biological parent?
I can say now that they absolutely can, right? Obviously, any relationship is a two-way street. And for a long time, while he was giving his all, I wasn't giving anything, right? But, you know, even when I was younger, there were little moments where I did. And it worked then, right? It was just when I wasn't that it didn't work. And like I said, once I turned 18, by that time I was a parent myself. I just gave it my all.
So do you feel like those moments that you can identify now, being the woman that you are, that you can identify that it was me that was being resistant?
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So, so what elements does one look for, or what, you know, because again, not having a biological father, and even though a biological father wasn't present, you had someone that gave you love. And so, what would one look for? What should a parent that is in that situation, that's like been like, I guess, put in a situation where they become the father, that father figure, what does that look like now that you're out of that age group where you don't hate him or whatever? So what elements do you look for to say, hey, that's my best friend? Like, you know, was it because he gave you just love and he didn't make you feel any different? Like, what would you say that you look for now in hindsight? You know, these are elements that made me feel secure from this person.
It's literally, you know, he gave love, he gave support, he stuck through it throughout everything. And there were plenty of times where, I mean, I'm experiencing it today, right? With my 16-year-old son, where I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't like you. I don't want to. But he, you know, he had that opportunity.
Right.
He didn't have to stick around for me, but he did. You know, so just somebody that's going to stick with you through hard times, that's going to give you that support that you need, regardless of what it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got pregnant when I was 15 years old, and that was hard for him.
How was that experience?
Oh,
like being so early, like basically having to grow up very fast, right?
That's exactly what that experience was.
Just thrown out there, swim.
Yeah.
Swim the ground.
Literally. I think the biggest thing for me, like, obviously I had no idea what I was doing, but I think the biggest thing was I had so many people that I loved that was close to me that was like, well, you know, you're never going to be able to do this now, right? Or you're going to fail, basically, right? And it kind of switched my mindset at the time. Like, okay, I got all these people who are against me or like
telling you can't do it.
Telling me I can't do it. That was when my mindset switched to I have to do it.
Yes.
Right?
It gave you even more determination,
Absolutely.
More fire, more drive.
Absolutely. And you know, that was the mindset. So no matter what I did, whether it was school, work, I knew I had to be like top of my game.
So and I guess we can talk about, like, this is considered being a young parent, a young mother, right? And so how crucial do you find it to be, especially now you're as a parent, having a support system? How crucial do you feel?
It was very crucial, very crucial, and not even just having a support system, but having the right support system,
right?
Because I felt like my son's dad's family was extremely supportive. I mean, so much so that I was really able to still experience, you know, being a teenager, right? We still went out, we still did prom, we still did all the teenage things.
Right.
And they were supportive in a way where they were like, you know, I'll keep the baby. I'll take care of the baby. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I feel like
say what you're gonna say.
They were supportive, and I appreciate that. But the support that they gave probably wasn't the most healthy for myself and for my child.
And that's more important, because when you become a parent, just to interject, it's no longer about you. It's about what's best for the child.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the key point in what you just said is it wasn't healthy for me and my child.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Child.
Yep.
Because they become everything.
Everything. Yes.
And
No.
since parenting, and I'm not a parent, parenting, I'm just a spawn of one.
Clearly. 'Cause you're here.
Man, I mean, I just learned that recently because I was also thinking I was from Mars this whole time. Just totally fine. Imagine my disappointment when I found out I was actually made like a regular human. Anyway, so parenting doesn't have a guidebook. There's not a PDF you can download on Adobe or anything like that. It's just you got to figure it out. And every parenting scenario is different, even with the same mother.
Yep.
And to this day, and I think you can attest to this with your son being 16 years old, what you had to finagle yourself through in the early years, you're finagling through it now as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like you said, there's no PDF to this shit. This shit is real.
Yes, it is.
It's real, and we're learning on the fly. We're learning on the fly. So in that, it's just like there's no guide, and we're literally. I'm gonna use this reference. We're literally blind, and life is braille.
Yep.
And we're feeling our way through.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And additionally, too, like I had him when I was young, right? So we've literally had to grow
up together.
You know, and it's like I am finding now at the tender age of 32, with him being 16, that 16-year-old him absolutely has shown me that 15-year-old me is still alive and present. You know what I mean? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm having to grow in order to be who I need to be for him right now.
I can agree with that.
Which is so hard.
I can agree with that. My daughter was born when I was 20 years old. And so I'm a little bit older, but I still ain't know
still
shit.
Young.
I still ain't know shit. Yeah, still ain't know shit. And still in the fact of parenting, I don't know shit. So I'm literally... But when my son was born, I had already
a little experience
in the game. You know, he came years later, but still, it's like literally feeling your way through it, and knowing that there's imperfection in not knowing.
Yeah,
and there is also perfection in it.
True.
Yes.
True. It's work.
Yes, and so what would you say? Was one of your proudest moments as a parent?
As a parent?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's just been multiple ones.
I mean, I only say, because I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know. But probably being able to set a goal of getting my son out of the city of Chicago. And achieving it, right? And not even just achieving it, but I was very strategic in, okay, we grew up in the hood. I grew up in the hood. My son was born in the hood of the city of Chicago. So when I leave the city of Chicago, I don't want to move to another hood, right? We need to be elevating ourselves a little bit, right?
You want to feel safe and protected.
Absolutely. And I wanted him to be able to be a kid, like go outside and play without having to worry about, he might get shot or whatever, you know.
So when you were growing up, did you grow up in the hood?
Oh, absolutely.
And so, I mean, I know you mentioned that, you grew up in it, but like when you were, with your stepfather and your mother, you wanted to make sure that he still was able to be a kid, even though when you had him, essentially you were still a kid. But you wanted to make sure that you provided an environment, something that was outside of what your parents were. I mean, they did the best that they could.
Absolutely.
But you wanted to make sure that you set a goal, like, I want to do this differently as a parent. Right. And then you provided that safe haven. I mean, it's Atlanta, but
let me clarify. I don't live in Atlanta. I live about 30, 40 minutes
like
outside
Douglasville,
of Atlanta,
like Douglasville,
like Covington.
Okay,
right.
Put some respect.
Yes.
Put some respect on it.
Really cute little, safe little. I mean, my son, God bless his soul, but he has literally left my doors wide open.
Oh.
My car doors wide open.
Wow.
Overnight.
On purpose?
Who knows? He's a child, right? And I woke up and everything that was in there was still in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's how cute and safe it is, right?
Okay. Understood. So and it was something that I was going to ask, because we know that we can curate something, right? But we can't really control.
No.
Because even in those safe moments that we project to be the white picket fence, and I'm air quoting, there's still, we have to be cognizant still, because shit still happens.
Absolutely.
It still happens in that. And I just wanted to be clear that what you meant by safe, if you could elaborate on what safe means.
Again,
As
I
a
just
parent.
really wanted him to be able to enjoy his childhood. I remember growing up and being outside playing with my friends, and the neighborhood thugs would literally like run up the street. And again, different time. This will never happen today, but we'll run up the street yelling to the parents, "Get the kids in the house! Get the kids in the house!"
Oh yeah, that don't happen now.
That don't happen now, right? But still, it happened, right? And we'd literally have to go in the house, and then later we'd hear gunshots, and
That's
then
crazy, man.
you know what I'm saying? I didn't want him.
I just wanted it to be painted.
Yeah.
As far as the difference in the way that we grew up and the way that our children are growing up.
Yes.
The way there's an understanding as we went through shit. Y'all think y'all life hard, but we went through shit. We dodging bullets.
Yes, literally.
Literally dodging bullets.
Yeah, just, I didn't want him to have to experience things like that.
Understood.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That was safe in my mind,
Right.
The not only the physical element, but like the mental element, because like now you know that that's one less thing that you have to worry about. You're hearing about your son getting shot or your daughter getting shot, just by just being outside, being a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And so,
and then just to even add on to that is now in today's time, it's not the thugs we got to worry about. It's the police officers.
Yes.
It is the others that we have to worry about, the Karens and the Calebs of the world. We have to worry about them taking our black babies away from us.
Yep.
That is, for me, I have a girl, right? That is up in age, right? So I'm not necessarily per se, because according to statistics, I don't necessarily have to worry about her per se being gunned down because she is intimidating.
Yeah.
Right? But I am also raising a young black boy.
Yeah.
Right? And the way that he is, he's so happy-go-lucky. And so I ain't necessarily got, because anywhere he go, he got to have me with him. Right. So if anything, they finna shoot me first before they shoot him, because I'm definitely finna become a superhero. And literally, because you ain't, no. Yeah. No, not at all. Not even. So it's not necessarily, it's a different thug.
Absolutely.
It's a different thug.
Absolutely.
This time around for them. They're still dealing with it, just in a different way than what we deal with.
Yep. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I was just gonna say, right, in all of that, goal setting to get him out of Chicago, because I wanted him to be safe in that way, I've absolutely learned, right, exactly what you was just talking about, right? My son has had multiple run-ins with the police that has,
scared the shit out of you.
Scared the shit out of me. You know what I mean? And it was just nothing that I really thought about until it happened. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
No.
What did it feel like?
Oh my God.
I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I don't want to imagine, but I can only imagine.
Yeah.
What did it feel like?
Extremely frightening, heart-stopping.
Mm-hmm.
I was helpless. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do? Because the first time that it happened, the first, second, and third time, we weren't even in the same state, and I was getting calls. You know what I mean? So when I say helpless,
completely,
I was literally helpless.
Mama couldn't come in and say,
"What could I do?" Right? And the person that I left him like in their care, when I would call, like, "What the hell is going on? Where's your child?" You remember those commercials? Yeah. Like, "Do you know where your child is?"
Yeah.
Literally having to say that, and that person like, "What do you mean? He's supposed to be in the house. He's supposed to be, but this is what I'm telling you.
He's not.
Where are you?" "Oh, I'm in a whole different state." Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So, in addition to being helpless and frightened and scared shitless, I'm also angry, furious,
right,
and helpless.
So, how do you handle that anger, though? How did you handle that?
Well, by the grace of God, I was at that time probably a year into therapy, right? Also, it's crazy to say, by the grace of God, my mom was like fighting cancer at that time, which
is the devil.
The
cancer.
Devil. Hate it. But that also brought me spiritually like closer to God. So prayer was literally my saving grace. You know, I literally learned, you know, I grew up in Catholic school and all of that stuff, like in church. So I knew God, but I don't think I had really truly experienced him until I'm like, till my mom is fighting cancer, till my son, I'm going through whatever I'm going through with my son. And that's, and still to this day, that's how I deal with my anger. Like, I'll journal, I'll have therapy, I'll pray. You know what I mean? It's because it's all in your mind. You know what I mean? It's a mind thing.
So the mind thing.
Yes.
So the way of life will present itself.
Word.
My interrupt.
Word.
Word. So now, speaking of being mental health, you know, in the Black community, we don't speak on the various avenues to find treatment to the things that we've gone through in our past. Mm-hmm. A lot of times in our households, we were taught to what happens in this house stays in this house.
Oh yeah.
And so
stays in this motherfucker.
And then the various threats, or not maybe threats, maybe threats. There's threats. There's definitely threats.
We can say it now. We try.
The various threats. Shout out to our Black parents. The threats that we received for breaking that rule. How have you vowed to break that cycle as a parent?
Well, you know, I try. I am met with a lot of resistance when I try. But, you know, I absolutely encourage.
Just all in the mic. Because it literally is the way where
it was just real ice cubey.
Yes, I mean, so that means that you need
a refill? No.
Okay.
I need you to catch up.
Y'all got me running my mouth right now.
Still, with the palate. Don't drink. It's okay.
We're still on Jigga Set Radio, y'all.
Period. No, yeah. I mean, I encourage therapy with my son. He hates it. He absolutely hates it. But
he hates therapy?
He hates it.
Well, why does he hate therapy?
Somehow, right? That same Black stereotype of, I don't want to tell my business and, you know, I don't need to talk to nobody. He's literally told me it makes me feel like something's wrong with me if I'm in therapy.
It's funny that you say that because my daughter says the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter says the exact same thing.
And I'm
her
like,
going
why?
to therapy. So why?
I don't understand it.
Look, I feel great.
Nothing is wrong with you.
No.
But
we just want everything to be all right with you.
Continue. Yes. Please.
You don't want
I know you have things going up there that you're not talking to me about. I know you do. I've been 15 before. I've been 16, you know. And I was a female. And I didn't grow up in this time that you're growing up with, where you were exposed to way more than what I was exposed to. You know?
Absolutely.
Like I didn't have friends that were murdered when I was growing up.
Wow.
My son has many. You know what I mean? So, like, I know you're going through, like, hell, your mom is gay. I know you going through.
You're gay.
On the real. Like, I know it's not okay. Like, just, if you can't talk to me,
right,
you got to talk to somebody. You got to get out of your head.
It's okay to release it.
Yes.
And you know what? I've never had that worry about explaining who I am to my kids, because I'm communicative. I communicate with my kids thoroughly. So my daughter's probably going to be upset when I'm about to say this, right? But I'm going to say it. It's okay. Respect. What's she going to do? What my ass?
What's she going to do?
I'm the dad. It's great. She came to me and she was like, "Hey, Dad, something I want to tell you." I was like, "What?" She's like, "I like girls." I said, "I like boys. It's great." She's like, "I know. But Mom is not." I said, "Yeah, you're right." She's like, "So, what are we going to do?" I said, I don't know. Need time to figure out and construct a plan for that. And so the fact that she was comfortable to tell me,
yes,
as her dad, and to help her orchestrate a plan to tell her mom, and we can talk about how her mom took it later. and then literally the fact that she was comfortable enough to say,
"This is what I like.
This is what I." It's okay.
Absolutely.
Good. And I thought, and I think, thank you. But I think even in that, because we know the stigma that comes with being in this community, right? I'm completely comfortable with who I am, right? I walk around the way that I walk around, right? But at the same time, as a parent, I don't necessarily want my child to experience what I have experienced, and what I am experiencing. And so it's like, well, how do you shield them? Do you shield them from that? I can't shield them from it because she's going to experience it at some point in her life, right? So what do we do in that instance? You know what I mean? It's like,
if I had an answer for you, then I don't know.
The ancestors is backwash.
Yes. If I had an answer, then life would probably be a lot different, right?
Maybe if you had an answer, can you just borrow it and package it up and just make some money on it?
Please. I'm willing to sign my name on that. Yes.
And make a PDF out of it.
The world's first guide to parenting.
Hey, literally, is there one like?
There isn't. But you know what? It's funny that you say that, because what you was about to say, literally, me and Reese, we were talking about this just the other day. What not to do as a parent.
Yeah.
That should definitely be a
That's the first.
That is the first.
Yes.
That is the first. And I was like, she was like I had been taking notes. And she became a parent later in life, later than I did. And literally she was like, I literally have been journaling ever since Cameron is her eldest. I've literally have been journaling. She was like, I've been journaling. And I was like, girl, can I just do the full thing? I just want to, she said, no, what? You know, I got a chapter for you. I need you to do 2 chapters. I said, girl, I just want the full.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be real gutter with it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm going to step outside of my professionalism. And look, this is to all the motherfucking parents. There's no guide to this shit.
Yeah.
You're going to learn as you go through this shit.
For sure.
Feel your way through it.
Yep.
Get out your head.
And you're gonna make mistakes. Own it.
Constantly.
Own it. That's the thing. Own it. And I think the biggest thing is like sharing that with your child.
You hit it.
What happened?
I don't know.
You hit it.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Go ahead.
my
I'm sorry.
goodness. Yeah, just sharing that with your child. I think we've all probably experienced, our parents making mistakes and them just being like, well, I'm grown. Or
Do what
deal
I say.
with
Do
it.
what I
Right.
say.
Not as I do.
The worst. That needs to go in the PDF.
Yes. Yes.
Stop saying that shit.
Stop saying this shit.
But
It
even
wears
when
me
these
out.
kids don't let you know that they appreciate that, they do. These damn kids can be so nonchalant. You were just saying that. They don't care about anything, or at least they make it seem like they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But
Perception.
it matters. Not only does it matter, but it also teaches them how to handle when they make mistakes.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Let's take a cheers to that. I'm not a parent, but I'm a product of one. So
Y'all keep saying this. Okay.
I just learned yesterday. Cheers.
Good job. Cheers.
All right, so let's change the subject because parents.
Yes, I'm tired of these
talking to
kids.
I'm tired of these damn kids.
Love them, but fuck them kids. I am team fuck them kids. Yes.
So what does Nicole like to do for fun? Aside from coming to visit her cousin.
I do love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love to travel. It does something to my spirit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When I cannot travel, this is what I mean when I say I'm like super regular. And y'all better not make fun of me when I say this.
It's probably gonna be a situation.
I don't want to tell y'all.
It's okay. We're going to laugh with you. It's behind your back and not behind your back.
I like to knit.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You like?
Okay.
Oh, y'all not laughing at me?
Not right now.
Okay.
I'm laughing internally.
Good job. Thank you.
Good job.
No, I like to read. I love being outside. I like taking hikes and shit.
Okay.
I really love being on boats.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, I always want to be on somebody's boat with a drink in my hand, having a good time. Always.
Always.
You never have to ask. If that ever comes up, don't ask. Just be like, cousin, come. Be like, okay, I'm on my way. Okay.
So what does that do for you? Does the water do something for you?
It's the water.
Yes.
I think it's
I'm
the
same
water.
way.
What's your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Mm. Wait, what was this talking about?
Yes, I
am.
Okay.
Yes. Good things. I already know. Whatever.
It's a beta sign.
Sure, go with that.
Anyways, yes, it's the water. Yeah, it's the water. I love all things beautiful, right? Give me a beautiful scenery and I am my best self. I don't care if it's mountains.
Water.
I don't care. Anything.
I can relate to that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same way because I'm also in therapy. So shout out to therapy.
Yes.
Shout out to mental health.
Come on.
Yes.
Let's cut it out. Let's go ahead.
Y'all need a clap button.
We do. We got one.
Come through.
Shout out to mental health.
Yes.
And more important, not just mental health, but shout out to embracing mental health
And breaking the stigma.
breaking this cycle
Absolutely.
and the stigma that exists in our community. I was able to identify because I was working so hard, and it goes into the whole pouring into other people. You pour out more than you get what gets poured into you.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize that I was pouring out so much because I wanted to be everyone's superhero.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be, and I call it the Superman syndrome, right?
Yep.
And I've talked about this on a couple of my other podcasts, where I felt like it was my job to rescue my friends, my family, and I would be so drained and didn't know why I was drained because I'm like, I didn't do this, or I felt like I could do this, but then when it came down to doing stuff for myself, I didn't have the energy, the same capacity to deliver or deliberate in the same way. And my therapist was able to identify because I was pouring out way more than I was receiving from other people. And that's why friendship circles are important. Having the support, like even when you're growing up as a parent or as a child, having that support system.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't think it's ever going to end. My dad is like 60-something. And in the past 2 years, he has become a person that I never thought I would see.
Mm-hmm.
Just
in
growing.
a good way?
In a great way.
In a great way.
You know? I do want to ask you.
Of course.
Oh, God. That's the first. It's the first one.
This is amazing. Go ahead.
Because I absolutely struggle with that as well, like over pouring. How do you fix that? Because
you can.
How?
You can.
I need to know how.
But it's going to start with you. You have to identify and understand the value of the relationship you have in your life first. Mm-hmm. You have to assess that. Because for me, again, I felt like I was trying, when I moved here to Texas, now 9.5 years out of St. Louis, I wanted to fit in. And so I had a low self-esteem coming into this. So I made a whole new chapter of friends. And it was overwhelming for my social side because I was like, man, people actually like see me.
Yeah.
They didn't see me before. They see me. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I felt like I needed to be a pleaser. I needed to maintain that. Mm-hmm. So I was just pouring out constantly thinking like, okay, cool. But that was something that something happened in my childhood where I lost my self-esteem. Mm-hmm. My dad laid hands on me. I lost my superhero during that moment. Yeah. I was molested. And so there was, I wanted to become a pleaser because I was a person that was taken advantage of. I didn't want to be back in that position again. So I said, if I just, if I give my version of myself to everyone, the version that everyone wants to see, then maybe it won't happen to me again. And so I became that person. Mm-hmm. And then when I turned 33, 34, I realized that version of myself served no purpose anymore. My therapist helped me understand that and helped me understand that you have to assess the people that are in your life, people that actually are willing to support you. But you also have to allow that to happen. The other part of that was I don't like. Well, I'm still working through it. I guess I'm a human. I guess.
We're back to
You're
that.
not from Mars, babe.
The jury's still out on it. But
no, we rendered the verdict.
What is this? A Jerry Springer show? DNA test has confirmed.
That's Murray.
You are human.
You are a human.
We both know your mama. So
shout out to her ass. Anyway, parenting. So I was able to deduce that I was definitely being a pleaser. And not me, well, my therapist was able to. And to remedy, damn.
You got it.
Shout out to the inebriation.
To find a corrective action for that. It seemed to roll off the tongue better. I was challenged to find things that allow me to find serenity. And water, mountains, traveling in general, allow me to find that. And I'm going to share a piece on here that I've probably not revealed before on the podcast.
It's a first?
Another first. Another first.
I don't know if I can take anymore.
Yes. Worry about it. One of the other things that I had to deal with, and you probably don't know this, cousin, I got a felony.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I have a felony. And someone I trusted, and when I lived in St. Louis, I won't name any names. Probably can Google it. But it was an individual that I trusted, and that person set me up, essentially.
Man.
And it caused me to not trust people. And that put me in a whole different mental headspace. But again, mental health. If I didn't have a therapist to help me work through my thoughts, going through that whole process of having FBI agents come into your house, the whole process of now being a statistic. I think that was a big one for me because I took pride in like, you know, like, so like I was just very, it took a lot out of me. And so I went down like a spiral. You know, I found myself over worried about things, just very paranoid. I didn't know how to find my way back up the ladder or climb back up. And so when it got to the point to where I had a therapist and then the sentencing commenced and I had a different lifestyle. I had travel restrictions. I think that's where I was going with this.
Yeah.
I couldn't travel anywhere, so I didn't have that mental release.
Yeah.
You know? And so I was going crazy. And so my therapist said, okay, here's your homework assignment. You have to go on to Google Maps and find a local lake or something that you can go to every single week and be able to release all of that. Because you're on probation. I was on probation. I had restrictions as far as even down to taking edibles or whatever the case is. I couldn't do any of that. I couldn't be around friends that did that. And, you know, it was very frustrating. And I couldn't even let my friends know why I couldn't be around them. So it was just that whole mental headspace. I was trapped.
And you couldn't let them know because of your own
conviction.
I wasn't comfortable. Because there was an image that people saw me as. This Jeremy Turner. Everyone looked up to me. Like, damn, Jeremy's at 28 and he's already got his, you know, he's in somebody's magazine. Or, damn, Jeremy's already making this amount of money at this age. He got his master's at this age. Like, you know, he's doing a lot of...
You were on a pedestal.
You were at,
yes. I was on a pedestal. And I did not know what it looked like. I did not know what it looked like to be kicked off. And falling. That was hard for me. And then the fear, I've always had that fear of failure. That was my moment, and I had to deal with it in that moment.
Cousin, we are so much alike. I love you. You're so dope.
If I didn't love you any before, this the
now, right now, it did it
right now.
Oh, you humans.
Anyway, something that I wanted to your question specifically.
It's hot in here.
It is. Is she on? Specifically to your question, and I said you can't. What I have learned in my therapeutic journey is that you don't change you just change the people around you. So it's you keep pouring, because if you move to people that's going to pour into you, you're not moving differently,
right?
Just your trajectory just changed,
right?
And that's it. You keep pouring, because if you just change the circle, somebody gonna pour into you.
So I think that's where I'm fucking up at, right? I think that's where I'm fucking up because I don't know. I love people, especially my people, right? Especially family. And so in my mind, I'm telling myself like, you just got to say no. You just got to say no. And I've
be okay with saying no.
And that's the thing. It hurts my feelings when I have to tell someone no. It does. I know. I'm literally just learning boundaries and shit like that.
Give this baby a hug. It's okay, girl. Tell her no. Bitch, no.
So we're gonna flow off of that. So to your point, what I was gonna say after my whole spiel of revealing to the world that I have a felony. Wow, I think that's sickening.
Come on, one more time. One more time.
Reveal to the world that
it comes in 3.
It's all right.
You only getting 2. So I was gonna say also I've learned the value of look at you, part of the team. I've learned the value of setting boundaries for one. 2, strategically placing those right people around you that will be able to support you. And that will aid you in the journey of being able to say no and them understanding why it's a no from you. Because like I've been in a situation, I've mentioned this on a couple of podcasts, or another podcast where because I was in that Superman mode someone said, I need help, and I'm in the comforts of my home. I'm in my safe space, and I have to leave my safe space to go help someone in the wild. Yeah. That means anything can happen.
Anything.
And so there was I used this example. I had a friend that caught a flat tire. He was drinking. I was home that night. I wasn't out and about. I was chilling. I got a call or a text from him. Communication came through that, hey, my tire's flat. I don't know really what to do. I've been drinking. Whatever the case was, it was pouring raining outside. And I said, you know what? It was like, okay, cool. I have the opportunity to help somebody because I love people. Even though I hate people.
Yes.
I love people. And so I put on my cape and I flew out there, literally going 80 miles an hour. I flew out there and did it, fix his tire, or put on his spare. At this point, this man is just laid out in the passenger seat because the liquor caught up. And I said, cool. I fixed the tire in the rain. I felt great. And I helped him upstairs. I drove the car down the street, helped him up the stairs, got him in the bed. He was good. And then I walked back to my car, got in my car, and as I'm driving home, I get a flat.
Oh, hell no.
Exactly.
Now who coming to save you, Superman?
Exactly.
Captain A.
I would have been.
But see, that's a perfect example of you going out your way. Now, what could have I'm gonna challenge you with this question. Mm-hmm. What would you have done differently? How would you approach that situation differently?
I wouldn't have took my ass nowhere.
But you love helping people.
But I do, yeah.
So
Uber.
Yep.
Lyft.
There you go. And you can deal with your flat tires in the morning when you're feeling bad.
When it's not raining.
Yes.
Okay. So is it easier for you to give solutions to other people's problems when they're not yours?
Is it easier?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds easier. Yeah.
Because I feel like in that same moment, I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, you would have done something similar.
Yep. Oh, for sure. Without a doubt.
So is it easier, going back to that question, is it easier for you to find the fault in other people approach to being Superman or a people pleaser versus looking at your own self and saying, hey, I should be adopting the same methodology that I'm telling someone else?
You see what he just did?
I'm a podcaster.
He gets on my nerves.
I fucking send it back to send it back. I'm gonna call his mama. Right?
Do something. Somebody needs to discipline or something.
I wasn't ready. Okay.
I'm about to take off.
Hold your brakes, please.
Something and back.
No, yeah. I mean, I get it. I fucking get it.
No, so here's what I'm going to challenge you with. I want you to every single scenario in which you feel like you have to step up. Ask yourself, do you have to step up or do they?
Yeah.
Because there's some situations, like in that tire situation, that person should have been more cognizant of their drinking. Mm-hmm. The reason why their tire popped is because they had a bad ball tire. It was going to happen. And it just happened that night. Yeah. So those are elements we cannot control, right? But when we remove ourselves from a safe space to help extend a level of help to someone else that may not be not necessarily deserving, but like they could have done better actions to prevent themselves being in there. Mm-hmm. Now we take on that task. Now their problem is our problem.
Absolutely.
And now I have to come out of pocket because now I have a flat tire.
And nobody's coming to save me.
And no one came to save me. I had to call a tow truck. I had to call a tow truck. And now there's another problem that lingered to the next morning because I was trying to help somebody else. Yep. Yeah. So every scenario you have to challenge it. Okay. What are the alternatives that would require less of me? And so that way the other person can they can take on more of the heavy lifting. Yeah. Right.
And you're still helping because you're still helping. Giving these.
Right. That's just one scenario.
Pouring into them.
Yes. Yeah. That's one scenario. The other scenario, going back to the pouring thing, of course, surrounding yourself with people that, are going to help fill you back up. That's going to recharge you. Mm-hmm. How often does that situation happen? There is a friend. We all have our friends that something's just shit always happen. Yep. Right. And then you find yourself distancing yourself from that person. Like, well, bitch, like, what are you doing to better improve yourself? So you need to challenge or look at every single relationship you have and say, is that person communicating with me more because they need something?
Mm-hmm.
And when I need something, are they available?
That's the thing, though. It's identifying that.
Yes.
Identifying that. Ooh, it's a sigh. You're like, damn, wrinkles.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go get some
It's the
Botox.
makeup not covering it. I thought it was.
It's still holding.
Okay.
It's holding.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely something. My love for people, it's hard for me to see when it's a one-sided relationship, right? And then the type of person that I am, when I do see it, right, I will cut all ties, right? And which is hard to do when you love someone.
Right.
But
you can love from a distance.
I'm learning.
Yes. And then
it's the flip. It's the flip.
And the other part of that also, as a parent, allowing your child to see that you are able to set boundaries, right? Yeah. Because as he...
Ooh, it's a sign.
As they grow up, right, you would want them to have that in them. Yeah. Right? Because you don't want people taking advantage of them. Because that means you going like, oh, you fucking with my son or you fucking with my daughter. Like, now I have to get involved. Yeah. But if you instill that in them and allow them to see that through you, then they'll know how to follow suit, right? And so, but for you, just, going back to you, like, you got to definitely assess all your relationships first. See, and then it's okay to put people in certain lanes. Like we talked about in a couple other podcasts where we got a turn up friend, right? We got a person we could talk to about business, about money, a friend that over here that's the more of the emotional support. The friend on the other side is like, okay, are you done? You got it out? Yeah. Okay, bitch, this is what we need to do. Yes. And to move forward. We all have, it's okay to separate and identify those friends or family members because we know exactly who to go to in whatever scenario, you know who to go to.
Something that I'm going to just ask, and even though I've heard you say that, and conversations come up in podcasts previously, how or do you identify differently for certain friends? You can be the emotional support for this friend, but then you're the financial support for this friend, and then you are definitely just the turn-up friend for that friend. Do you identify differently for different people? Do you move differently for certain friends because you know the type of person that they are and you know what they need and you know you have the ability to be
a chameleon?
Yeah.
To say it less. So do you?
Yes. But I also have to identify before I do my spring cleaning, essentially understanding that, who's here for me, who needs to be here and who doesn't need to be here. After I've done that part, the purging process.
The self. Identifying for self.
Yes.
Okay.
Then being that person, showing up as a chameleon for different, the different friend groups. Yes, I am that person. There's people that come for me for credit advice, and my credit is probably not the best, but it can change. I know what to do to get it there, and so I can be that person for a friend or a family member. The person that people come to for business advice because I love to see business ideas or just ideas in general grow. So I will be that person for that. For them, the person that was like, "Hey, I want to learn how to fly a drone." I will be that person for them. So yeah, I will wear whatever wig I need to put on for the day. I don't mind doing that. But
Baby Shark.
Yes.
Okay.
So
come on, hit the button on that one. Emphasize, Baby Shark.
Backstory, real quick. You guys are watching. When you get the visuals, you'll see the difference in hair. There's a transition.
It's the different wig for me.
It's a different wig.
It's a good lace front.
This one's probably
100%.
So I've been called 4 different names. One of them is Jimmy Neutron. For those that's part of that generation, you know who Jimmy Neutron is. Second one, part of the same generation, probably. No, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Cisco.
That's a generation
that's
before
yeah.
Jimmy Neutron.
I thought he was going to go with the Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo's the third one. And the one that's probably been the most hilarious one was from like a small human being that said, "Mommy, look, it's Baby Shark. I got Baby Shark." And I said, "Get you." I said, "If you don't get your ass out of here, whoop your ass." Brown kicked their ass. Yeah, I
gotta love kids.
Gotta love kids.
Because they have no fucking filter.
No fucking filter. Shout out to kids. Wow. We have.
He's gone and been a part of this entire podcast.
What was I talking
Clearly.
about? What was I talking about before the Baby Shark thing came up?
Unreal, damn. It was important too.
Shit, it was.
We'll splice it together.
Okay.
I believe.
And we were talking about balance, pouring.
Yes.
And
with friends. Being that chameleon.
Yes.
Yes, that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, I don't know why Baby Shark came up, though.
This one.
Ooh. Oh, it's Megan for me.
Shout out to Megan. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion in Texas and everything else that relates to it. All right, so because I don't know exactly where I was going with that thought, I'm gonna ask one more question and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this podcast. How you feel? First off, how you feeling?
You know what?
See, I knew it.
Y'all get on my damn nerves because I was so nervous and unsure of this whole experience, but absolutely therapeutic.
See?
Love it. Want to continue. We should do this more often.
On the road.
Come through.
Yes.
Please.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me?
Yes.
Man, all things real estate. Ultimate goal, ultimate dream in life is real estate investing, right? But I also want to just like have my hands and I just want to experience it all, right? So right now, hoping to start this whole Airbnb business thing. I've literally had my own business for the past 3 years and I did shit with it.
Shout out to being an entrepreneur.
Right? So, yes. And what's going to wake it up? Airbnb. So we're going to get into some short-term rentals while I'm also working on getting licensed to be a real estate agent. Honestly, that is really just for the connections, the knowledge of like the market and all that good stuff. And Lord willing, that's going to lead me into my real estate investing and having my own, residential redevelopment company. That's the dream. That's the goal. That's what we're working to. That's where we're going. Okay.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And so one thing, especially as an entrepreneur, I love seeing other entrepreneurs go after their dream.
Yes.
Right? Go after their next goal.
Word.
Seeing them, I get a satisfaction out of seeing them like saying that, hey, I want to do this. And I'm like, okay, what can I do to help you get to your dream, your destination? And I think that is what I'm doing now to channel that Superman syndrome, right? Pouring into other entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Right? Because I know there's a knit community amongst us, especially African Americans, Black, clearly African Americans, but more so whether you're male or female.
I mean, because you can be, Indian. And
Well, I mean, in this
Hispanic, yes, absolutely.
And don't get it twisted. And don't get it twisted. I will help any entrepreneur that is out there, no matter what the race is. Just a disclaimer. But I live for seeing us. Melanation is what I call it. The melanation.
Word.
Being able to take our business from this level to that level. And so I would encourage you as a entrepreneur, been in the game for at least, Jesus, I don't even have a number yet. Let me think about that real quick.
Think about it.
I've been entrepreneuring. Is that a word?
We're going to make it one today.
Sure.
Entrepreneur. Sure. Shout out to them. I've been doing this since I was 14.
Wow.
14.
Damn you,
35 is not old.
We're the same age, by the way.
35 is the new 25, from what I hear.
Sure. I like that.
Just know I'm only 12 in Martian years. Anyway.
Oh my God, with this. Okay.
He just so much want to be on Mars.
He really does.
Elon Musk.
There's real estate up there. Think about it.
You know what? I just want to point out.
Wait, no.
The Martian castle could be the next thing.
I know we all heard this when we was coming up, right? Boys come from Jupiter to get more stupider or some shit like that. But take Mars out of your equation.
Bruh.
I mean,
I'm saying.
well,
That's what they said. That's
that
what
what
they
they
said.
Who said it?
They said it.
Hey, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that?
Whoever told us. They said it.
They ain't told me shit.
Shit.
Miss Nicole, my cousin that I love. Appreciate you for coming on the show.
No, thanks for having me. We'll definitely be back.
When you say we, like all your personality?
All of it. All of it. I'm actually going to bring an additional personality with me next.
Oh, Kiki.
Yes.
Yes, Kiki, you should be here.
Yes.
Yes.
We miss you. This would have been, she would have took over this whole.
Well, she can have her own light in the sun. Isn't that the right phrase?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Shine.
So she can shine by herself too. How can the people follow you?
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's a good or bad
Okay.
thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's splice it together.
Yeah. Now you know
Wait,
I just
move the
told
table.
you I am not no social
Right.
media
Move the
thing.
table.
No.
Right. Move the table.
No, you can follow me on Instagram at
Is that the other personality coming out?
No, she don't remember what it is.
lovely _ Libra, cause y'all know 214. Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. I don't really post shit on there, but I'm coming for that ass.
Okay, well, when you start, building out the empire, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna use that as one of your tools to market everything,
Yes,
right?
yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're looking for a home in the Atlanta area, hit me up.
Okay. With that being said, again, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you guys for listening or watching the show. We will have some more great content coming soon. Until then, we'll check y'all later.